My boyfriend refuses to ask my parents for my hand, so my parents are boycotting my wedding.
Ouchie.
I've been with my boyfriend, Mel, 25, for 3 years. We both just finished school and are finally ready for marriage. He proposed last week and I happily said yes. I could not be happier. I love him and he is going to be an awesome dad someday. Aww. But my boyfriend is very new school and my dad is sort of old school. Oh.
A tale as old as time.
By the way, this comes from Throwaway and Panic on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So my dad was beyond mad that my boyfriend did not ask my dad for my hand before proposal. My dad said he was willing to hear my boyfriend's apology if my boyfriend formally asked for my hand at dinner that my dad said he would pay for at the restaurant of my boyfriend's choosing. My dad feels like he is being very accommodating. He will bring my boyfriend's favorite wine to celebrate. I spoke to my boyfriend last night and he won't budge. He doesn't believe in that tradition. My boyfriend showed me an article online where a Pakistani woman was stoned to death outside a courthouse because she married a man against her family's wishes.
Hey, yo.
This just happened. My boyfriend, who witnessed his father be not so good / possessive with his mom as a child, has always felt strongly that women are not property. He thinks the tradition of asking for her hand is repulsive. His point is that he met my whole family and gotten to know them. He says they have always known his intentions and he has never made it a secret that he was in love with me and wanted to marry me and have children. He feels he was done enough to announce his intentions and all of them seem to approve of him. He says at that point he only needs my approval to marry him and nobody else's. So yesterday my mom told me that my dad, who is not even speaking to me because I won't set my foot down with my boyfriend, is calling the whole family and telling them not to attend my wedding.
He's calling the whole family.
Grandma, don't show up. Auntie, don't show up. Cousin, don't even go.
That's a lot.
My mom says that my boyfriend is the one treating me like property by not letting me have a say in this decision to not observe a tradition that my 2 older sisters' husbands observed. I told my mother that I understand where my boyfriend is coming from and that I have decided to do away with the tradition of asking him for my hand. So my mother is obviously mad and said that I should be ready for serious consequences. You know, consequences sometimes means good things.
Like what?
When did what?
Yeah, consequences mean good or bad things that come from an action. Good job. I asked her what, and she would not say. But from talking to my sister, she said that they would blackball us from all family gatherings.
Whack.
My 2 sisters and my mom have told me and my boyfriend is being selfish. The wedding is set for August 9th. I'm worried that nobody in my family will attend my wedding. We got to edit. Let's read this edit.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Edit. I'm getting some comments about my boyfriend asking for my parents' blessing instead of permission or hand. I just can't see the difference. There might be one, but I don't see it. Is there a difference? Poll, difference or nah? Is there a difference between asking for someone's hand / blessing?
Yeah, or maybe like
I feel like
should we do ask for the hand or nah?
Ask for ask or
Ask
not.
for hand or nah?
Ask
or
for hand.
Or nah. Ask or not. That's
Ask
better.
with the number 4 hand.
Ask for hand. I like
Yep.
that.
We got an update. The wedding went on as planned. My parents stuck to their guns and boycotted. One of my 2 sisters attended and is now happily blacklisted from our family. Nobody else from my entire family showed up, including my 2 brothers. The wedding was a little unconventional. My sister walked my husband down the aisle and then his sister walked me down the aisle. I wanted this because my sister-in-law actually introduced us and helped me get my first date with him. There was no question about who gives away the bride or even about objections. It was normal than other than that. There has been no contact between me and my family other than one of my sisters. My mom has made it a point to send me a card every time that they have a family gathering for holidays or birthdays at their house to let me know that my father says I'm not invited. It's like that Freddy. Remember, did you ever watch Freddy on Nickelodeon? I get one almost every month. I don't even read them anymore. I just toss them. I don't know why they keep sending them because I've made no effort to contact them and I live over 3 hours away. So it's not like I would run into them by accident. The reason I came back to post this here is because some people here made a prediction that came true, that they would come crawling back when we had children.
Yep. Just like clockwork.
I am now expecting our first child, a girl. Congrats!
Yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah.
She will be the first grandchild for my parents. My parents found out about the pregnancy a few months ago through a family friend. They didn't waste any time in making demands, not requests, demands. My boyfriend and I are not religious, but I had a Catholic upbringing. I don't practice at all by choice. My mother called me back in April telling me that my father wanted our daughter's middle name to be his mother's first name. I said no. My father was listening on speaker, so I went ahead and told them that they were officially uninvited from all birthdays, graduations, and any other important dates in her life. My father called me half an hour later crying and begging me to come and stay with them for the birth so my mother could care for me. I said no. Kind of crazy the boyfriend low-key called this a mile away.
Yeah, and it seems like, I wonder if we're going to get some backstory later. It seems like OP was almost ready to.
Yeah.
They probably had a bunch of past behavior that
Yeah.
broke the camel's back.
Agreed. He also said that he had already made arrangements for his priest that could baptize her at his church, but that I needed to agree into naming her after his mother if I wanted this to happen. He said that he'd already planned a big celebration for the birth and the baptism that he was paying for. I said no to all of it. He went from meekly trying to sweet talk me to raising his voice at me. I hung up. He called a couple of more times to apologize for losing his temper and again begged me to reconsider giving birth at a hospital near them so they could visit us. He denied having any knowledge of my mother sending me cards to uninvite us to any family functions. It even said that he specifically asked her to invite us, but he was told I declined every time. That's straight up BS.
Guys,
oh my gosh.
what are we talking about?
He lets my mom do the dirty work so he can later hide behind her and deny he had any knowledge. He's done this since I was a little girl. He does this every time he wants to drop the hammer on somebody, but be the good cop also. He'll never change. He did not having any knowledge of why anybody in the family missed my wedding. I told him our daughter would not be baptized or Catholic at all. No offense to Catholics. I told him he was too manipulative and controlling, and I didn't want my daughter exposed to that. He's too toxic and just venomous.
Nice.
Coincidentally, the day and for several days after that phone call, I got tons of calls and emails from my brothers, their wives, my sisters, and all my aunts. They all want to apologize for missing my wedding, and they all had specific excuses and wanted to make plans to be there for my daughter's birth. He called the army, dude.
Well, also, I feel like it's like it might be a combination of like he called the army, and they're like, "Oh, I want to see my new niece, my new cousin, my new whatever." Everyone wants in on the new baby. Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Oh yeah,
right?
who doesn't, dude?
And guess what, guys? You made your bed. Now you got to die in it.
Real quick,
What's up with you and people dying?
Now
John?
you have to wither away.
They all wanted to apologize for missing my wedding. They all had specific excuses and wanted to make plans to be there for my daughter's birth. I banned all of them from her life until she's old enough to decide for herself to let them in. And please let us in every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just do what?
Tablet profile.
Should we
today?
set death to this family?
I think that every one of these people made this decision.
Yep.
And it's like, honestly, I do think that probably he did just say like, oh, he wouldn't ask for my hand, refused to ask my hand, blah, 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 blah. And that was enough for people to like, oh, I'm not going to the wedding. That's crazy. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
So it's like, you've picked your side.
Yep.
Now that there's a grandbaby in the picture, you don't just get to have what you want.
Yeah. My husband was a little surprised and not sure about banning everyone forever. He's more leaning towards supervised visits if they want to drive to us. My dad has been calling him like crazy, but we are a united front. My husband is deferring to me, but giving me ideas as to how I can give a little if I decide to. But with my family, there is no giving a little. So probably take a mile. Give them an inch, they go a mile.
Big fact.
They want it all. For now, they're all banned. I'll reconsider when my youngest of our children turns 18. Smiley face. For now, my dad will have to settle for sucking up to my husband while I stick to my guns. Unlike him, I don't mind owning my decisions, even if it means I am a bad cop. I'm not ready to give up a relatively drama-free, stress-free life to allow my dad and all his sheep back into our lives.
Wow.
Dang.
Wow. That was hard right there.
That was art.
I feel like there was almost maybe going slightly when she said about the husband, like, I'm willing to stand behind my whatever. But that aside, yes, like the kid can now grow up. I mean, think about all the toxicity, venom, and manipulation the kid could be growing up around with the parents that are refusing to acknowledge or like change or anything, right? So, and at the end of the day, this is OP's kid, OP, they did the deed.
They did the
so
deed.
they have the creed to decide for the child's future until the kid is 18.
Yeah.
And is an adult and can say, hey, this is what I want to do with my life. And then I also like that too. It's like, hey, listen, if my kid wants to be in contact with them, I got to respect what they want to do. The same way that I would have expected my parents to respect what I did as an adult.
Yeah.
Got to not be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Which OP's not.
Stop being hypocrites, parents. Gosh. And stop sending letters.
Guys,
What the heck?
it's 2024.
Come on.